Hello, YouTube. I want to tell you a little bit about work ethic at UPS. When you are working in the warehouse and as a driver, they're going to try to get you to work as fast as they can possibly get you to work, to the point that you will get hurt if you listen to them and continue to speed up. They would have you work at an unsafe speed. They would have you work to the point where you're so severely fatigued and so exhausted at such a pace, in such condition, that if you put your absolute best effort in, you'll end up getting sick. You'll end up having to call in every week for 1 to 2 days. The harder you work, the harder the work is that they're going to place on you. And the thing about it is that any benefits that you have from the company are not going to be reflected in your pay. Meaning that you can work as hard as they want you to work, and you'll still be getting paid the same base rate as the lazy guy next to you who's texting on his phone that he snuck in. I know, because I lived it. And the deal is that the company doesn't incentivize production. They should pay everybody a living wage regardless, but instead they'll work their best workers into the ground until you get injured. The benefits that you get with EdCore for tuition reimbursement have limits on them too every year. There's a lifetime cap for how much you can get, and UPS tax deducts that anyway. They take that out of their expenses. The IRS gives it back to them. The health care that we used to get with Aetna was far superior to Blue Cross Blue Shield too. We didn't have a copay. We didn't have any ER visit copay. It wasn't any of this 80-20 BS. Blue Cross is actually inferior to the Aetna network. So if you do get hurt from working too hard, you're going to have a copay and you're going to have a large doctor's bill that you won't be able to cover because UPS doesn't pay you enough to cover that. It's not worth it to work hard if you work at UPS. Maintain a steady, sustainable rate, and no matter how pissed off your supervisors get, you just keep showing up to work on time and you work sustainable. Don't work yourself into the ground, because the harder you work, the harder the work area they're going to put you in. And they'll have you move from your area to the next trailer or the next truck, whether you're on the outbound or preload or unloading brown trucks or trailers. They'll just move you to the next work area and they'll double up your workload. And if you finish early, you'll just get less hours. So you pick a pace that you can sustain comfortably without being completely worn out and exhausted at the end of the night, and you stick to that pace. And no matter how hairy things get, you maintain the same pace. Don't be doubling up on speed. Don't be rushing. When you get in a hurry, you get hurt. And they don't give a damn what happens to you. I got hurt twice, and they demanded I come back to work the next day. First time I got stabbed in the head, and the second time I had a vehicle axle fall off the E-Reg train and strike me and pin me against a roller stand. And I thought I was going to lose my leg. Fortunately, I was wearing steel-toe boots that night, and it kept me from suffering serious injury, but it scared the crap out of me. You can get seriously injured at that job. And if you do, they'll put you on workman's comp if they absolutely have to. Most of the time, they're going to try to deny your claim. And they're going to fire you. At the end of your work period, where you've got work release because of workman's comp, if you do get that, I never qualified for it. They never gave it to me. They're going to tell you, You have this many days to come back to work. It's usually 72 hours they give you. And if you don't come back in that time, they fire you and they immediately cancel your insurance. So don't work harder. You pick a sustainable pace and you work it. You will overheat, you will get sick, and you'll get hurt if you listen to the insane demands that the part-time and full-time supervisors place on you. Those guys are nuts. They're going to get somebody killed. Work smart. Don't get in there and be working at a frenetic pace. If you get out there on the road, it's just important to observe the same rules. Don't speed. Don't rush. Wear good footwear. Make sure you're stopping to hydrate and drink water no matter how messed up things are, no matter how much work they put on you. Because if you get sick or you get hurt, the company's just going to stick somebody else in your spot. And they're going to fire you. They're bastards.